What is up, fellas? JPS delivers here. BJ Simmons and the boys, campus legend with BJ Simmons. Remember, this is the junior year, had that awesome dorm room for Mr. BJ Simmons. I wonder what senior year dorm room would be. I don't know, because part of me is like, oh, should I declare for the draft? Because things are kind of looking, I know it was Cornell. It's fucking Ivy League football. This isn't SAT and ACT scores, folks. This is fucking sports. You know, this isn't a Marcellus Wiley coming out of the Ivy League or anything like that. 9 total touchdowns. Great start of the season. Going up against Florida Atlantic University. Florida International University. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. But they got one win on the season, so both winless teams should be a hell of a matchup. Even though the #1 team in the country, Iowa Hawkeyes, riding, I believe, is a 17-18 game winning streak. That does include the 13 wins from last season, the national championship winning team last season. 13 for 15, a little bit over 200 yards, 6 touchdowns. Hey, if we can maintain, because it's one thing to say with BJ Simmons, Lee Corso obviously picks the Hawkeyes for the game. If we can get BJ Simmons to stay around at least over 60% completions, I think there's a good possibility that this could be a record-breaking season for BJ Simmons. The running game, this is a good run right here, but I don't know where it was. Maybe freshman year is just having to depend on them a little bit more because BJ Simmons was just not as much, he wasn't as christened as he is now. So, not really needing to rely on that all too much, especially because a lot of the running game does rely. And also, okay, cut to this. Our fullback must be extremely athletic. Holy fuck. I mean, he's wide open. It was a good read by myself on the pass. Pat myself on the back on that one, especially considering there's a couple questionable plays I have later on in the game. Nice catch by the fullback. It might be one of his 5 touches on the season. I'll just say 10, just in case we have like a 4th and 1, like 4 or 5 times over the season. And we're going to obviously go for that. There's no pussyfooting it here with BJ Simmons and the boys. Nice defensive stop right there on 3rd down. This team came in, Florida International, not Florida Atlantic. And there's a sack right there. This team was actually showed up pretty well against what should be a blowout for the most part. This first half is definitely full of competitive plays. FIU did pretty well. I know now, hey, we got to get wide receiver number 88 involved. Didn't see too much of him last game. Going to be a nice broken tackle right there for about 5 or 6 yards by halfback number 31. And then trying to set it up on this play, but it's going to be another sack. It doesn't matter how athletic he is. Eventually, when, the secondary is going to guard that well, even against this offense, like, Jesus Christ, that man just pancaked our boy. That's my boy. My boy just got fucking destroyed on that play. Holy shit. But Lee Corso, there you go. That's the recommended play that I chose in that situation. But 7-zip. Maybe against a team like this. This is going to be the craziest sequence of 2 plays you have ever seen. So that was pretty nuts right there, having to run across. But what is a game with BJ Simmons without one crazy ass scramble on this one? Even though it kind of seems like a scramble, being able to have this ability to get in and out of the defense like that, pretty much covers about 70 yards. And then what is a BJ Simmons game? We didn't see it last game. He was clean. No PEDs. But this is not a PED on this one. That's just an INT. As FIU gets the first forced turnover of the day on what actually should have just been a dead play from the get-go. But he's able to keep the play alive. And hey, he's a playmaker, y'all. He's going to make plays even for the defense, and we saw that a ton the last 2 seasons. I think he had 57 interceptions in his first 2 years. I'm pretty sure most guys... Holy shit, Mr. Benson. Now, this guy right here, Mr. Benson, sophomore, true sophomore, since he started as a true freshman at middle linebacker. Remember, we had a really solid impact player at middle linebacker the first season. think, what was it, the Champ Sports Bowl or something that we finished on, but what a broken tackle on that one. I mean, you see me running around and shit like a headless chicken, not knowing what to do with our impact player. Again, he's 99 overall, right outside linebacker 42. The dude gets picks, he gets tackles, and occasionally gets sacks. There you go, nice catch right there by wide receiver number 88. But into the first quarter, it's kind of quiet, right? I mean, 7-0. FIU with the ball, marching down the field. And then come on, like, that's an interception, right? I mean, out of all the times that throw picks, that fucking Heisman difficulty, man. They set it up to where if you fuck up in the slightest, and I've had some big fuck ups with BJ Simmons, you'll have to pay for it. They punish you for it, and then right there, a situation to keep it shut out, and then a sick-ass interception. It was a horrible read. Breaks the tackle from BJ Simmons, if you want to add insult to injury. And it's going to be first down in the red zone. I believe it's a 13-yard line. His career, holy shit, and the man had 86 tackles in one game, or 1 1/4 of a game. Don't want to take that away from him. But just again, it's just the computer defense just gobbles up interceptions and turnovers whenever they make you pay, and they're making us pay right here. It is now a lead for FIU. Who would have thought at this point in the game, after Iowa had started the game off and put points on the board first, and then I thought this was going to be an interception, but nope, fortunately enough, we have arguably one of the most impactful players in college football at the wide receiver position, considering what he just came off of, just the best special teams playmaking season of all time. I think he had like 10 or double-digit returns. I mean, that's fucking nuts. Guys don't have that in their entire careers. Again, BJ said, I was trying to toss it right there to the halfback. Probably wise that didn't end up coming to fruition, but that should have came to fruition. Incomplete pass, wide open, basically, out of all the times I've run post routes. That right there was just a clusterfuck. Got lucky last minute. Going to be a first down now, and then a beautiful touchdown pass. Setting it up finally with a nice post route by wide receiver number 84. Him and wide receiver number 9, two guys that probably not getting much attention compared to what we've seen out of wide receivers at the slot position for BJ Simmons in the last 2 seasons. Obviously now our second wide receiver on the team. Wide receiver number 89 was the second leading wide receiver, and then a huge play to take the lead again. This team, like I said, this team was fighting so hard against us. Mind you, we did gift them 2 possessions well into our side of the field to start off their offensive drives. But it is what it is. They get a flag, but they're going to make the extra point. BJ Simmons now in a position. Plenty of time left, not only in the entire game, but also in the second quarter here, and trying to see what we can do. A nice play-action read pass play, and throw it to the man of all people. Bad judgment by the safety. I believe it's safety, or it might have been man coverage with the cornerback. No, it looks like the free safety on that one. But big play by this man, already well over 100 yards on the day. Kicking ass, wide receiver number 88, getting shit done, as it's now going to be another lead change as Iowa regains momentum and the lead. Motivation and momentum go to only the wide receiver on that play, which is kind of nuts. I wish the quarterback would have gotten some, but it's not like we need it. BJ Simmons is probably the most talented player in all of college football right now. At least at the quarterback position. There's a couple beasts on defense like USC. Mike Laurinaitis is still at Ohio State, so that should be interesting. Pass deep down the field. Broken tackle. Can he make it? No, he cannot. But that is after, I believe, 57-yard pass. And, y'all, that's, 5 yards after the catch or so? 7 yards after the catch. That ball was floating in the air for 50 or so yards. Pass it. The guy I was talking about earlier, speak of the devil, wide receiver number 89. Second option in this offense, because obviously we are going to need to feed the man on the outside with the Star of David on him. And we are, hey, like Jewish, we're not going to save anything right here, folks. With number 89, touchdown, BJ Simmons setting it up. I mean, 2 interceptions at this point, not amazing, but it is nice to see that we're able to come back like this, get a bigger lead. Now it's 28-17. FIU moving it down the field. What can we do on defense? Well, whiff on a fucking tackle. I've been terrible at open field tackles. I don't know if it's misjudging their speed. But hey, whatever it is, I need to fix it. Maybe you strafe a little bit more. I don't know. If any of y'all playing these games got any tips on getting better at defense, please let me know. Because it's going to have to be, I mean, a nice sack right there. But in all seriousness, oh, beautiful. Hey, what's another game with B.J. Simmons without a blocked field goal? I mean, that's what I love about this game, is that compared to Madden games, I don't think, has anybody ever seen a blocked field goal in a fucking Madden simulation? I mean, seriously. I don't know what the new Maddens are like. I've never, well, haven't bought any of the new Maddens, and look at this shit. That guy probably has like 69 speed, more so like 65 or 70. But gets down the field. That should be, what, a 60-yard play. Going to be a highlight on the day. The dude's probably like 6'6", 6'7". He looks like being lined up on the left side of the field, that he's a fucking blocking tight end primarily, as you see them in a lot of 7-man sets up top with the offensive line. Huge hit on that play. 3rd and 3 now. They got the ball. And another nice sack by Mr. number, 36, strong safety number 36. And then the field goal is good. Now, this is weird. So, it's obvious, as you can see on the end of that one, obvious roughing the kicker, not running into the kicker, but straight up roughing the kicker. And FIU decides to just keep the points. Huh. Interesting. It is what it is. I'll accept it. I mean, I'm not going to bitch about it, right? I'd rather do that than lose 4 more points on a lead. Doing that, B.J. Simmons scrambling. Ball's going to be thrown down the field. And I think part of why the slot wide receivers on this team have not been targeted nearly as much, I think 84 has quite a bit. But wide receiver 9, not really. Even though we will see a play by wide receiver 9 later on. I think it has to do with a decent amount of finally using the tight end. And ironically enough, it's after the stud tight end leaves Iowa. I mean, you can't see the draft results and whatnot. It stinks, but hey, you know, it is what it is. Can't see the draft results in Campus Legend. But B.J. Simmons and the boys are not going to give a fuck what those that helped in the past, since now we are looking at the present and the future. Nice touchdown catch. So that's 2 on the day by wide receiver number 84. And I don't know if it's 2 by wide receiver number 88, but we do already have a touchdown pass to number 89. I think it's 2 by 84 at this point. And 2 more touchdown passes. 1 to 88, star impact player. And then 1 to 89, who, I mean, hey, he's no slouch himself. Play action play by FIU on 3rd down. It's going to be 4th down and 35-20, up by 15 here in the 3rd quarter. Halfback number 31 finally breaks out for a decent run. I mean, well, decent run is a good run. And then here we go. This might be a better run, even though it goes for about 1/3 of the yardage. Nice broken tackle on the outside. And B.J. Simmons going to cut it up. Break a tackle. Fuck you, bitch. And then he's on his way into the end zone. Beautiful run. There's no way the D tackle is going to chase him down. He's too athletic anyways. I don't even think anybody was going to chase him down, but he left that man in the dust. And that's right. Praise the boy. Praise the boy. He brought Iowa a national title, and maybe he's going to bring Iowa its first Heisman winner. Should be interesting. So 70 yards on the ground by B.J. Simmons, in addition to his 4 touchdown passes so far in the game. But into the 3rd quarter, 42-20, as we saw quite a bit of scoring by us in the second half. I think it was 28-17 at halftime after that blocked field goal attempt, in which eventually they got the 3 points again. So it is what it is. And then a nice broken tackle. That man is really good at stripping the football. I don't even think I'm pressing buttons for that kind of shit. But whatever. It is what it is. But 4th down right here. When I edit these fucking videos, man, it's just... Oh, there's so much shit going on. I need to stop doing that last minute. But a beautiful hit on the turnover. One hell of a 4th down call, apparently. I thought there was a couple guys wide open in the flats that could have had some catch and runs on that one. But hey, I'm not going to give a flying fuck. Left end number 94, finally getting some sack. Well, finally getting a sack to his statistics on the season. 3rd and 7 now, moving the ball down the field. Just over 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, making a hot route audible. I saw the safety move up, thought he might be blitzing, or he's just playing tight man. But there you go, another hot route audible. Flag on the play, though. But there's no need to hold the applause. It is a roughing the passer penalty on FIU. If you remember seeing right before that pass was let go, guy was barreling down on B.J. Simmons. Third down incompletion. Going to be their ball again. B.J. Simmons going to rush for about beautiful juke move. Holy shit. Not only did I get it served the equivalent of a hurdle behind him, but not only that, oh jeez, I mean, it also served a beautiful juke move. And speaking of beautiful, 55-yard touchdown pass, about 50 of those through the air. Again, this guy's got one hell of an arm. We're trying to treat this as probably a Patrick Mahomes type situation. Right now, guys are looking at this dude, B.J. Simmons, as a great raw talent. He's got better scrambling ability than Josh Allen. He might have the arm of Patrick Mahomes. Who knows? I mean, he came in with a 95 overall arm just as a freshman, just a witty-bitty baby here at Iowa. I mean, he was expected. He had raw talent. The throwing accuracy is getting better. The awareness is getting better. Hopefully, we don't throw 2 picks again in a game. Playing Penn State in a couple weeks. Going up against the Cyclones next week. I mean, dude, why the fuck is that guy devastated? Come on, dude. There's no reason to be devastated right there. Your team was coming in expecting a loss. Don't tell me Coach was actually giving you a fucking pep talk about how your team might win this game. Get the fuck out of here. That's only for high school games because of the drama and the romanticism of fucking high school football. 7 touchdown passes by B.J. Simmons. I think well over 400 yards. Almost 100 yards on the ground by B.J. A touchdown as well. So 8 total touchdowns make that 17 so far in just the first 2 games. 226 yards receiving by the star wideout, number 88. 9 tackles by the strong safety. I think it was because, excuse me, because a decent amount of balls were caught in the lower area, and they hit their tight ends quite a bit. So, and that's usually the man coverage is the safeties on the tight ends. There you go, Broussard. He's a freshman. Look at that, 267 pounds, 66 or 6'6" on his height. Dude definitely seems like a blocking tight end, but I don't know. He might be their starting tight end just in general. Who knows? But as always, fellas, got another video coming up. Talk about the NFL next week. Later, y'all.